What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Today we're going to talk about a piece of gear that everybody loves to hate. It does a huge amount of damage, but everybody also hates it. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Come and check me out live on Twitch, Kick and on YouTube, and join my community Discord if you need any help with the incursions or raids and things like that. People are playing all the time over there, and when I'm live we run incursions and raids and get everyone things like this, the Ouroboros. With all that said though, let's get started. So let's just check out what it kind of feels like. So we're running the Ouroboros, and I've got a FAMAS as a backup, both really good guns. And right off the bat, no problems at all, but obviously that was only a yellow, a purple and 2 reds. Definitely would recommend the shield for this, so if you're not a shield builder, I think this would be a little bit of a rough build to run.
We're under attack. It might be a diversion, so be ready.
The damage is clearly pretty insane. Just to note, I think my shield's about level 15. So if you're looking at the survivability wise of my shield and you're thinking, wow, is his lasting longer than mine? That'll be due to the expertise.
Nobody gets through. Nobody. Let's take care of business.
Cheeky. We've got a healer. Oh, he's there.
Vital signs critical.
He went all the way to the top floor.
Nice to be able to switch to a slightly longer range weapon. But it feels good. Everything dies really, really quickly. Obviously, survivability, a little bit touch and go, but you've got to revive a hive. I've not had to use it yet. And we'll just clear out this section here just to, because they're all bunched up. This is a nice section to show the deeps. Alright, bro, chill out. The red bars I just made a mockery of. I mean, they're like paper. They just fall down. But everything else just dies insanely quick. But it is a Marmite build. Some people are going to love it, and some people are absolutely going to hate it. But I think we're going to run a few different versions of this over the next few days and see if we can maintain the deeps, but maybe add a bit of survivability in there. I guess we'll see. What you will notice is not the highest damage numbers. You know, nearly a mil there on some crits, but there's no stacking apart from the strikers. So it's instant damage, which is what's making them die that much quicker. Right, let's head back to the base of operations. If you've not yet hit like on the video, please do. It really, really does help me out. And you know, if you got a little bit of a free time, drop a comment as well. Alright, so specialization wise, so twofold here. I probably could have helped myself a little bit if I ran gunner. And the reason why I went all out in one direction. I went full DPS with this and no survivability whatsoever, in the hope that you kill things so quick it really doesn't matter. But with gunner, you get this here, the 10% armor on kill. And especially when playing solo, that mounts up really, really quickly. And it's just really, really nice. Now, would I run gunner for this? Yes, I probably would. I wouldn't run the Banshee pulse. I would still run a shield. Definitely worth running the shield. Every third reload being 50% faster, which is insane. And obviously as well, we get the rate of fire increase on kill by 5%. Absolutely insane. I went with the firewall because it's kind of the specialization at the moment because of the damage bonus from the striker's shield, just to add to the damage a little bit as well. Everything else is kind of meh for this compared to gunner. So up to you which one you want to run. Let's have a look at guns. So guns were an easy shout for me. I was running the Ouroboros, especially in a mission where most things are close together. This is a no-brainer. But I was running a FAMAS for the times that they weren't close together. I could just do a quick switch and run the FAMAS. If you don't have the Ouroboros, I would definitely recommend running the St. Elmo's engine, especially with this build, because the versatility of that thing when it shocks the enemies, it just gives you so much free time to kill them. It's absolutely crazy. So that's definitely a recommendation. Although you could run the FAMAS and go Scorpio as well. That's another option. Or you could go Kingbreaker and maybe run something like the Rock and Roll for building stacks and things like that. And then run the Technician specialization for the linked laser pointer. So you've got quite a few different options there. You know, Perfect Flatline is great. A FAMAS running Optimist or Fast Hands is great. And the Ouroboros is great. So no matter where you are at the game, you've got quite a few different gun options there that you'll be able to use with this build. Next up, it is the Coyote's Mask. So with this, I tend to kind of play in this range here, the 15 to 25 meter, try and get that shot in to activate that. I never tend to be too close with this build, because if you're too close, it tends to lead to trouble. But if we're not, we're at the 0 to 15. We're a little bit closer because of the Oreo. So therefore, I've spec the build into crit chance and not to be reliant on this middle section at all. Just in case, just to make sure we maintain the maximum deeps. You can see though I've got a critical hit chance mod in this. The next 4 pieces are really easy. They're just strikers. Everyone's fed up with strikers builds right now. But the piece that we're going to talk about is coming up right after the strikers pieces. So with this one, I've got weapon damage, crit damage with the risk management talent, taking that damage bonus all the way up to 100% worth. Next up after that, the gloves running critical hit damage. Next up after this, we're going to run the knees running critical hit damage. And last but not least, for the 4 piece, we're going to run the holster with critical hit damage. So the piece of the moment, let's have a look. So if you didn't guess it already, the last piece we're going to look at is the Sacrifice. It's a Providence piece. It comes with 15% headshot damage, weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage with perfect glass cannon. Now this thing was a staple for such a long time when it was pretty much the glory days of the M1A. It comes with perfect glass cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you take is amplified by 60%. And that's a little bit of a wounder. And that's why when I was talking about using the shield all the way through, the little bit of a playthrough, that's really why, because you need that extra protection when you run in this build. But obviously this is just damage. Literally from the minute you press the trigger, it is instant damage. And in heroic and lower, this thing's great. If you're okay with the playstyle, it takes a very specific kind of playstyle, but if you're okay with that, this thing is absolutely great just to put out some insane damage. Now I am thinking about doing a couple of other builds with this to try out and just to see, you know, how my own playstyle I used to use this all the time with the glass cannon, you know, M1A build, but now we've got the Oreo and we can put out so much DPS with so much burst. I'm just really seeing if, you know, if this thing really should be sat back in my inventory in one of my loadouts. If I wanted to take a look at the stats, you can see it's 59% crit chance and 151% critical hit damage, 85% headshot damage because we have the Providence buff as well. It's absolutely insane. It kills so quick, but it's definitely a glass cannon build. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? Usually I run, you know, this instead. As you can see here, we run a Grupo chess piece with Obliterate. That's usually my go-to, but again, it's a stacking talent and I wanted to come away from that. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you run? And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, agents. Goodbye.